It'll take me a second. I think I'm doing a little closing here, for which I do actually have some more questions for you. And it feels like Devin wants to say something. It just I'm feeling that the sense okay. I'm going to hand you the mic while I set up.
That's what I heard. My opportunity. So on behalf of those who get to work with you more closely, just thank you so much for attending. We really appreciate it, and I want to extend that thank you to all the Altair folks in the room. Every one of these folks, developers, field alike, decided for themselves whether they wanted to be here. Now, that's just how it works. We didn't twist anybody's arm. They wanted to be here to spend time with you, and so anyway, just thank you so much. And you need any more time? I'll tell a quick story. 2 weeks ago, we had 550 engineers from Altair in one room in Detroit. Every couple years, we have a technical meeting. And Dario was on stage for all of 2 minutes where he did that demonstration with the right mouse click, submitting a job. The room erupted in spontaneous applause, the biggest applause of the entire week. All these engineers saw an opportunity to spend more time on engineering. And if that's replicated across you folks, that it makes you folks look like heroes to your users, your customers, I'll be very grateful. So hope that wasn't too much rah-rah.
All right, thanks.
Oh, I forgot to do what I said I did. So introducing Bill Nitzberg. Bill, who in the early 1990s was at NASA Ames when they decided that all of the workload managers in existence at that time weren't adequate, and embarked on the project of developing PBS we'll just call it PBS at that point, with 7 others. Our CTO, he's awesome man.
All right, do these microphones work? If I just do this? Okay, I'm going to stop using the handheld, and I'll try not to move, which is really going to be difficult for me. So really quickly first, since we said, you should go to the forum, I have opened up a blank web browser here, and I'm going to show you how to get there. You go to pbspro.org. If you scroll down, you can find all sorts of things here, but a little blog that I should really update. One of the first things is the conversation with the community. If you actually click on any of these things, there's 3 different channels inside of there. It goes to community.pbspro.org, which of course you could just go to directly if you want to. Apparently we should just go directly because that's actually taking forever. At community.pbspro.org, there's a whole bunch of ongoing conversations. All of the sort of active or even semi-active discussions actually show up with a ticket number from our ticketing system, which we're using Atlassian's Jira. But for example, one of the things that we talked about here was the 1 trillion job IDs. And you can see there's an ongoing conversation with a whole bunch of different responses, and also a link over to the most current description of the design document. So feel free to bounce around here, and you can find all sorts of stuff. You can waste way a lot of time here, so be careful. Okay. Some final thoughts. I do want to say, don't you want to switch into presentation mode for me? Oh, good. I knew you did. Thank you, sponsors, again, actually, and I know Devin just said this, but thank you all, and a huge thanks to our marketing and support team, Kelly and Maria and Charlene. So let's give them a round of applause for making this thing fantastic. Thank you. This is, if anything great happened here and it was wonderful, it was them. If it wasn't great and we messed up, it was probably me or Devin or someone.
Okay, so switch bags, awesome. I'm gonna say Maria was from Parnassus is our winner with only one answer incorrect. So this is for you. Come on down. You're the winner.
Only what was the one incorrect? Was there like one answer that nobody got?
Which one?
What is this? Yeah, what is the significance of the red tubes in the lobby of the Switch data center? They're actually empty. There's nothing inside them.
That makes them even more significant.
And so everyone else was pretty close with about 4 to 5 on average with incorrect answers. So we're just going to draw from this pile here, and I'm going to let Bill do that.
So how many am I drawing?
So you can't look at the names.
Can't look at the names, but no, but okay.
You can draw 2, so it's like a magic trick.
Okay. Will you put them back?
Yeah. And we have Cheryl from Boeing. And we have Helen from Virginia Commonwealth University. So all 3 women won the switch bags.
Awesome.
If you want to check your answers, we have answer sheet up here.
There's an answer key because there will be another test, a follow-up test later to make sure that you've learned from the previous. Yeah, we got it. Thank you.
Yes,
Here, I'll
thank
take
you.
that. All right, thank you. Just a reminder about what PBS Works is, because I just wanted to just say it's PBS Works. It's a suite of 3 products. And I know we changed the name a bunch around, so I'm just going to hit it one more time. PBS Cloud, which was sort of formerly known as PBS Control Center and PBS Control and some other things, but we're calling it PBS Cloud now. PBS Pro, or PBS Professional, and PBS Access, formerly known as some Compute Manager and Display Manager. PBS Access does actually have built-in remote visualization, and I don't know if that was clear from what we were saying, but that's part of the product. So. We've had a lot of talk about cloud computing, and I was on my phone on Saturday, and I saw that cloud computing thunders to victory, and I was like, holy crap, cloud computing, who knew the New York Times, okay, cloud computing is that? And then, of course, it turns out that it was the Preakness Stakes, cloud computing thundered to victory ahead of American Dream, who was, going for the Triple Crown. So, okay, so cloud computing, really big, probably a different domain. But on that same topic, I actually had 2. Like I said, this is a little bit of a test for you guys, and then I was going to summarize. So I had 2 questions for you, although the thunder of one of them I think was taken away. And the first question you'll understand later because I have a follow-up for it. But what percentage, sort of, for those of you who have actually sort of investigated cloud or maybe using cloud, how much of your sort of workload at your site is actually doing doing HPC in the cloud? So is it, and I'll give you ranges because, and here's where I better actually switch to actually be able to write on the screen. We'll do it this way. This is 0%. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, production work. 13? 14. Okay, 13 or 14-ish. 13. Okay, I can't type when I'm talking. What percentage of your, thank you, production HPC work in the cloud today? Greater than 0 to 20%. I know. I just want to see. I'll keep changing that. But greater than 0, but up to 20%, but less than 20%. Okay, 1-ish. And so that I don't have to write so much. More than 20%? You don't do HPC. Oh, okay. Of your HPC workload, yes.
Product design group, when they do customer projects, when they're doing full design of the they first to cloud for production work.
Okay.
Less than 20%.
Less than 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1-ish plus. Okay, and then greater than 20%, we have 0-ish. All right, and that'll come up later. But I'm sure that some of you have done, and I've seen analyses of, and I figured we're all here and we could take advantage of this, of, hey, my internal thing's costing me X dollars, and the cloud seems to cost me some number greater than 1 X dollars. And I was just wondering what that, for those of you who have done an analysis, is cloud, how many people, is cloud less, so is less expensive? For how many people would cloud, if you've done the analysis, would it be less expensive for you to kind of go there? Okay. Okay. Well, less expensive, 1. Okay, good. Well, less expensive isn't important. Okay, so, and then so let's say 1 to 2x expensive. So, about some, okay, we'll say, well, less expensive is less than 1. So 1 to 2x?
How about roughly equivalent? 1.
Roughly equivalent. Okay, so roughly equivalent. Others, roughly equivalent? Okay.
No, I'm not roughly equivalent.
He just wanted that.
You just wanted that, 0. Okay. 2x, we'll just go up and, okay, 2x, all right. 3x?
Somewhere in there.
Okay. 1, 4. What? Okay, sorry. 3x, sorry, I didn't read. Okay, hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, okay, thank you. I promise to publish this in some way that you can use, although I think we're publishing it now. Okay, and then we'll just say 4 to 5x, anyone? Anyone? Bueller? And greater than 5x. Ooh.
We're very productive.
Okay, wow, okay. All right. So it's a bell curve right around 3x-ish right now. Okay. And you're not done with your homework. I noticed that a few years ago I asked the question, which turned out to actually be a really fun question, I thought, in a different forum, which was, hey, what's going to happen to high performance computing in 5 years? And I'm not really going to lead the witness in this case. So I'll open up the floor and see if anybody has any predictions about, let's see, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 5 years. So. And I'll try to take notes, but don't,
So I guess my personal opinion is especially in some of the engineering cases, so the FEA type spaces, is the replicating HPC infrastructure in the cloud. We'll just skip that part. And I think the way that I see things going is the application vendors are starting to provide the cloud service as part of the application. So whether or not that will work from a legal compliance, whatever point of view, that seems to me well within 5 years, as we see Autodesk and Simulia and Altair and other people already providing a click this button to run your thing in the cloud, as long as you already set up the pay-as-you-go contract.
In 5 years, you will need a petaflop to get on the top 500.
Me
I think
personally? No, sorry.
lot predicated on the processor architectures too, so that seems to be in a state of flux right now. So where we will be in 5 years, I don't know. That's hard to predict.
Come on, make a prediction. You can do it. What do you think? Let me ask this. Well, okay, no. For talking about processor architectures, so will we have more processor architectures in HPC or less, or we'll have, where are we going?
More.
More?
Intel has just doubled the number of processor architectures they have.
Wow, you'd think I'd be able to type by now. Anyone else? This is not going to make a great blog post without some more forward-looking things of what's happening in 5 years from you guys. You guys know.
Still won't know what to do with all the data.
Can I modify that
Yes.
slightly?
Still have too much data, or they don't know what to do with it.
Data will still be a problem.
There will be 6 exaflop machines on the planet.
Do you want to say only 6, or you say exactly 6? It will be.
No more, no less. Where will they be? They won't be here.
It might be in Las
I
Vegas.
don't know how you chose 6, but for those of you who are old enough to remember the original Bell System Technical Journal articles on the Unix operating system, the folks who published about UUCP, for those of you who know anything about what that is, which was kind of one of the original, whatever, Facebook basically, they had hoped one day to connect up to 6 computers. That was their goal. They were like, one day we hope to have 6 computers connected. By the way, I was IHNP4, HP Labs, UO Physics, Bill. For those, okay, really geeking out.
I think the HPC system will become a utility-like type of systems that basically is a processing engine instead of a just handle simulation. That's one. The implications of that will drive like internal cloud, external cloud, the differences to 0 to some extent.
So you said like what? Sorry. That you said the HPC systems will become, that would be one word, utility like?
Just like a Swiss Army knife.
Ah, okay, okay. Cool, thanks. Okay, I'm gonna pause in a very awkward silence just for another minute to see what happens. Someone else needs to run around for me because I can't type and run around. Pass that mic. Thank you, Lisa. Ooh, to Antoine. How many people can go through? Thank you.
I think more than a third of workloads will run in containers, but thin containers like Docker.
So say it again, more?
More than a third of workloads will run on containers.
More than 1/3 of workloads. Thank you. The awkward science is working, so I'm going to try it again. It's really awkward right now, just so you know. It's going to look great on the tape. If I only stopped talking about it, it would even look more awkward. Okay, great. Thank you. We'll come back. Feel free to send me stuff, because I always like to know what you guys are thinking. Just to tell you, it wasn't exactly 5 years ago, but here's what this crowd said in October of 2013. Some of this, I think, actually is really true. Some of it, now I'm not so sure. 2 times more users, and most of them novices. Has that played out? What do you think? Is that I don't know. I don't know if that's played out. I actually think that feels true to me, that's happened, and maybe that's going to happen again.
That's 2 separate features. Is it 2x more users independent of working
It's 2x more users, and mostly the new ones are novices. Yeah. So we'll have 3x more capacity. I don't know. 5 years. Apparently I think we have way more than 3x more capacity now than we did. So that's interesting. And power constraints are going to drive GPU adoption. I'm not sure that happened yet. It's certainly not power constraints, but maybe GPUs are sort of coming in. I think it looks, to my mind, GPUs are getting adopted more for the applications that are using them than for power in particular. A lot of consolidation. Big organizations are going to consolidate HPC centers, and that's going to drive remote visualization. I think we heard that today a couple of times. So that was actually, you guys were pretty good there. Windows use will increase. Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking, but I'm not sure that did not happen yet. No. And my absolute favorite one, given the previous conversation that we had, in 5 years, less than 10% of HPC workload will be in the public cloud. I know. Which I don't think, I think if you looked at the hype, this group got it right and the hype did not get it right. So, you know, fantastic. All right. And just to close, in closing, I don't know if this will actually work because I have a video. You know how at the end of the day, I don't actually have any kids, so I imagine this is true because I've heard other people talk about it. But like at the end of the day, you can sit down with your kids and you can go through the entire day, and it's like, okay, you just had the day, but you're going to go through the day. So we made a video about this conference, and as they say in Apple, and I'd like to play it for you now. And with that, thank you again. With that, we will officially close the 2017 PBS User Group. Thank you.